Hey everybody, I'm Meso, here to bring you a video that I had no intention of making. As you guys may or may not know, the Toa Canon Contests have been ongoing for several months now and are in the final stages of wrapping up. Polls on them will begin this month for the final artwork portion of the contest, where the final designs will be held. The issue at hand is really the fact that there have been some growing opinions towards the contests in a more negative light, in a more questioning light, and they've really stemmed from a multitude of things. I'm sure we're going to do a deep dive into all this in the future when we do a NAC and J. This is just more of a cursory overview. Due to a lot of mental health strain and just a general busy schedule in our lives, the polls for the artwork portion of the contest were very delayed. When we addressed this in a public topic and we asked for more help, because quite frankly, LJ and I doing it by ourselves isn't sustainable anymore, at least. A discussion was launched that has since spiraled off into various different Discord servers, various different communities about the contests. The results so far for the contests have been very good. Some excellent mocks and some fantastic art has been featured and has been canonized as a result of these contests. I think everybody's pretty much on the same page with that. The quality of work the community has put in is exceptional. The handling of the contests, I'll fully admit, is a bit more divisive. Plenty of people are happy with them, but plenty of people are also critical of them. They've expressed discontent at a multitude of things, from the rules to our moderating staff to our moderating style. Just a lot of different things have become points of controversy in the greater fandom. We've been asked time and time again by people who are not a fan of the contests, which, as the initial poll stated, at one time were the minority. We have been asked multiple times to do another poll. To gauge community interest, to gauge community feedback, to see if people still want more now that we've had a few of them. And we've said time and time again, at first we said, well, the results are going to be the same. The results are just going to echo the same sentiment. And if we keep doing more polls every time the vocal minority speaks up, we'll just have an endless amount of polls. They'll just keep coming and they'll never stop. So we didn't do it, but we always said, never say never. We'll consider the prospect. And, the time is hazy. The months have been crazy. I forget if we ever made a declarative statement. If we did, I'm sure somebody will drag it up and share a screenshot by all means. But, I know at least LJ and I we're always pondering the potential of doing a poll, but we wanted to conclude the Haga first. We had the Haga, and we had at least one more contest that we were definitely doing on the short-term docket. And either after the Haga or after this next fourth contest, we were going to do a poll. I think we said as much publicly, but if we didn't, at least know we were thinking about it. Completely without consulting us, without, looping us in, without doing, any of that. Other sites, specifically the Mask of Destiny network, which represents a large coalition of Bionicle fan communities and websites of great renown and respect, have created a survey. I would encourage all of you who even had a passing interest in the contests at any point, or if you followed them religiously throughout their operations, go vote on this survey. It's come out earlier than we intended, and not under the circumstances we intended, and born out of, displeasure with the contests. At least that's the catalyst for their creation, is the vocal displeasure. It's yet to be seen whether or not that's the majority opinion or not. But, just as it's been spread to most Bionicle Discord servers and most Bionicle subcommunities, so too should it be spread to our community. That's basically the logic behind making this video. If it's gonna exist, it may as well be done right. And, it would be hypocritical of me to not point out the issues with the system. So early on, people criticized the fact that we were holding the contests on our message boards. And they said that, you don't need to have it on just one tiny pocket of the Bionicle community. That's not a good idea. It's not representative. You should have it on something like Straw Poll, or you should have it on, like, the website they're using right now is SurveyMonkey. It's a good site for doing survey stuff. Well, the issue that we always said was when you do stuff on sites like that, it's very prone to fraud. On the TTV message boards, we have checks in place to ensure that there is no fraud and that people can't inflate the votes or mess with the votes. And we always said third-party sites, they're just not reliable, especially not for contentious issues like these. As a result of this, we made the somewhat controversial decision to hold the polls on the TTV message boards, because we just couldn't trust any other systems. And, we saw that with Hoserix. People tried to do it on our site. Well, it'd be hypocritical of me to not point this out, but exactly as, feared, this poll system isn't reliable. You should still go vote on it. You should do your best and operate in good faith, and everybody should vote only once. But it's very easy to abuse this poll infrastructure and vote multiple times by doing simple things, like just simple browser-related things. And that's a big oversight, I'll admit. It's a big oversight on behalf of the people putting the polls together. But it's a no-win as well. From their perspective, they feel like holding polls on one particular site would be biased, because you'd only have the people from that particular site. And even if you shared it to every community, people aren't going to want to make accounts for any one particular site. Not necessarily, anyway. So it's not going to be representative in that sense. Even though when we did our best when we held the initial poll, we spread it around everywhere. But, you can always say that. You can always say people didn't make accounts, blah, 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 blah. Now you've hit the flip side of you've made a poll, it's public, it's easily accessible, and it's also hilariously easy to commit fraud on it and just skew the votes. So, to anyone wondering why LJ and I never did another poll to gauge community feedback, this is why. You either do a public poll that can't be trusted because it's insecure, or you do a poll on a site like the TTV message boards that can be trusted, but then you always have that backdoor excuse if you don't like the results, where you can say it didn't represent a full swath of the community, no matter how many times you share it, because you have to register an account. C'est la vie. It's a no-win situation. But Mask of Destiny was adamant that this poll should be made, so there's nothing to do but go with it and see what happens. I hope everybody operates in good faith if you're going to vote. If you are unhappy with the contests, vote. If you like the contests, vote. If you're mixed on the contests, they've broken it down into very helpful subcategories. You can praise the parts you enjoy. You can critique the parts, you don't like. And hopefully from there, people can get a good gauge of opinions going forward. That's basically that. This will not be the last time we talk about the Haga contests. If anybody wants any updates on them, you can check out the TTV message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. We'll be making a poll when the votes go live. When the polls go live. My bad. When the polls go live so you can vote. And then we'll be doing a Knack and Jay in the future where we just talk about our thoughts on the Haga contests and the contests in general. Because it's been a crazy ride. That's basically all I got. Link to the surveys in the description below. Check it out if you want. And have a good evening.